Okay, we'll get started. We're joined on the dais by head coach Katie Abrahamson-Henderson and student athlete Aaliyah Gregory. Coach, if you want to make an opening statement, and then we'll take questions.
Sure. Thanks, Bernadette. I'm just really, really proud of our team, and just the big picture overall. 20 wins last year. They won 7 games, and this year we won 20. And you see that there's still a lot of fight left in them. And, that was the biggest thing for me, big picture, was to train our players to hate to lose. And now they're to that point that they're going to fight all the way down for 40 minutes no matter what. And, and it's really how I want their mindsets to be all the time. And so I was just really proud of their effort, especially in the, first 2 quarters. I mean, we fought really, really hard. The third quarter, it wasn't really good for us, and then the fourth quarter, we came back and fought too. So, I mean, overall, for our coaching staff, it was just really all about fight, effort, just playing hard for 40 minutes. So I'm just really proud of them.
Please raise your hand if you have a question.
Can you talk about the strategy? It seemed like you guys came out to play very physical with them, very tough with them, and that seemed to be working pretty well, at least through the first half.
Yeah, that was definitely our strategy, to come out and play hard, be physical with them. And like Coach Abe was saying, we're not afraid to play anybody. So we had to come out and be in attack mode and just be ready to play with them. And sometimes it requires you to get really tough and physical with teams, and that really worked for us in the first half.
Aaliyah, you guys came out aggressive, took UConn, you speed them up earlier in the half. Was that something was a game plan early, during this weekend?
Our game plan really was just to pressure them, make them uncomfortable. And I think we really did that on the defensive end in the first 2 quarters. And like you said, we sped them up a little bit, which is what we wanted to do. So it worked out for our favor because the score was a lot closer in the first half.
Aaliyah, you and Zakir took a lot of shots in the first half, and then second half you weren't really able to convert as much. Was that just the result of just being worn down from the UConn defense, or something else?
We're in great shape, so I don't think it's necessarily a worn down thing. They adjusted their defense a little. They were not letting us come off on ball screens. So, of course, we were getting shots different places, and if they're doubling Zai or doubling me, of course, our post players are open, so that's going to require us to take less shots.
Coach, at the risk of getting you in trouble here, they were, I think, 15 for 19 from the foul line, and you guys didn't have a foul shot until there was about 1:19 left in the game. To what do you attribute that discrepancy? Is it the way they played defense? Was it the way the game was called?
Oh, that is such a dangerous question for me. I mean, they just, I guess we weren't getting it into the post enough, I guess, and throwing it in there and trying to draw fouls in there. We did, and Lou got a free throw. So, it's, no matter what, you got to play whatever the circumstance is. I mean, you're going to have different situations every game, different teams every game, different, we got to just play through it all the time and, just stay focused because, the game camp has got to be about the 5 players, 6, 10 players out on the floor. Can't answer that question.
Coach, season low turnovers for a UConn opponent. Only 15 points off transition, which is where they get a lot of their points. Mm-hmm. Comment on that. On what your guards were doing that kept them from turning it over. I mean, 3 in the first half.
Yeah.
That's not many.
Well, we talked a lot about execution. We talked a lot about poise. Obviously it's when we played, it wasn't really about the name of the shirt that we're playing against. It never is. At the beginning of the year, we would have 31 turnovers, 28 turnovers. So this is really about UCF and UCF getting better every single time we played our next biggest game. And so, that was one thing Coach Valerio said after the game was over. We only had 11 rebounds. And turnovers. That's big, especially against the best team in the country, only having 11 turnovers. And that's, attributes to Zai and Ali and KK, just not panicking, having poise out there. I mean, they were doubling KK. They were switching every on-ball screen. They were switching a lot of things, and we were meeting our passes and being poised. And, You know, that's something you have to do against a really good team. You have to be poised and you have to be patient. And we were okay with the shot clock getting down. I mean, as long as we had the ball in our hands, and the longer we had the ball in our hands, the better. And if we shot it, we knew maybe Joss or Luke could maybe get another offensive rebound, and then we could go again for 30 more seconds. You know, so I mean, the game plan was to try to keep the ball in our hands as much as possible because they're just so dangerous in transition.
Coach, you mentioned you had 7 wins last year, I think it was, and 20 wins this year. Can you just assess where this team is now? Are you expecting that you might get a postseason berth at some point of some type? And where is this team set up in terms of going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I really hope so. Obviously, that's not my decision because, you know, I don't want to say goodbye to Zai and Joss right now. And you can tell our team still has a lot of fight in them. I mean, and we're better now. We are way better now than 62 days ago when we played this team last time. You know, and so, but that's the thing when you take over a new program, you want to build and get better and get better and get better. And like we're to the point where, you know, we can pretty much play with anybody, and it's fun to play new teams. And if we do get a postseason bid, that's going to be fun for us because it's really hard to prepare for us. It's really hard to play against us in terms of our press, in terms of our matchup zone. You know, this is a hard defense to prepare for, and we're in really good shape. We need to rest a little bit, and if we do get, you know, something postseason, that's another little miracle that I talked about yesterday that this team has never done. So that would be really exciting for them. And the thing about our team is they really like us. And so, you know, even though we get on them and push them hard, really, really hard, they want to see us another day. They want to come to practice another day. They want to get better another day. So, you know, it's just, you know, we just really don't want the season to end.
I don't want to necessarily keep Aaliyah here, but are you prepared to talk about next year a little bit? You lose 2 key players,
Yeah.
but everybody else is back. They're very young,
Yeah.
and I don't know anything about who your recruits are. So if you want to have a minute to comment on both those things, it would be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to come in with a lot of size. Because I came into this team, I'm like, are you kidding me? Everybody's shorter than me. Like, I need more size, you know, on our team. And so we got some 3 bigs coming in. We have a guard that's sitting on the bench that's redshirting that's really good. And we have a shooter from Canada. So we're going to bring in, is it 5 or 4? 5 new players. 5 new players to add, you know, to Aaliyah and everybody. So, I mean, but the biggest thing is that we'll only have to train freshmen now. We're not going to have to train the whole team to hate to lose. I say that all the time. A lot of people want to win, but it's really hard to win. You got to hate to lose to want to win. You got to fight to get that. So the neatest thing about next year is that I'm going to have leaders like Aaliyah. I'm going to have leaders like KK. They know what's coming now. They know that they want to win. They know, you know, what the work ethic is. They know what the expectation is. They know how Coach Abe is. They know how our coaching staff is. And so they're going to be the coaches off the floor. And so they're going to get these young players ready. And, you know, the young players aren't going to be able to look at an upperclassman and go, well, she doesn't work hard. Why do I have to work hard? It will never be like that again at UCF as long as I'm here, as long as they'll keep me here. We will always be hardworking people. So it's going to be so much funner. When I was at Albany, we did the same thing. We flipped the program around the first year, and then the next year it was so much easier for the coaching staff because I trained these guys how to be leaders. I trained them how to, you know, coach each other. I trained them to be a team. And so now I'm not going to have to worry about in the summertime if any of the freshmen are getting in shape and they're working hard because Aaliyah and Z and KK and Tolu and everybody, they're going to get everybody ready to go. So it's going to be a lot. You know, I would imagine it's just like UConn. If you go into UConn's program, you know you have to work hard. So you don't go in there as a freshman thinking, oh, this is going to be easy, right? So that's what's instilled in our program now, hard work.
We'll take one more question.
Coach, playing UConn as tough as you did this first half, there was a lot of dynamics of the game. Mm-hmm. What did you learn from your team after this game? And then what's the direction of your UCF?
Well, I've learned from my team that we've trained them right. You know, because I'm trying to empower women all the time. I'm trying to teach them to fight no matter what. This is a small platform to me personally. I want Zai to go out in the world and fight for whatever it is she wants and not quit, not let down, and not give up. That's what I want. I don't want Joss to do that either. So that's the biggest thing. You know, you see this game and there was fight for 40 minutes. I mean, I'm not going to just tell them, okay, stop, let's concede. I don't ever want our players to ever be like that as a woman, to not go out and fight, not, you know, be strong and be empowered. And I think that's what I see in them. You know, and it's fun to watch. You know, KK was coming in the timeouts and, you know, saying things, and Aaliyah was saying, keep fighting, and Josh was saying, keep fighting. And before, when I first got here, I was saying it all the time, right? So now they've done it. They're there. And, you know, obviously I see great things for UCF. Obviously, we got to do a great job of recruiting. Our AD, Danny White's doing some phenomenal things at UCF, and building all kinds of cool things. And, you know, I mean, he recruited me there, and it was a great sell because there was palm trees on campus. And so recruiting to UCF is beautiful. It's just a beautiful place. I'm so spoiled. I come up here, I'm freezing cold. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cold up here. I just want to go back home, right, where I see palm trees every day and it's warm. It's a beautiful place. And so obviously recruiting, I have some really good staff members that can recruit, and I think it's never easy recruiting, but it's a great place to recruit to. And so hopefully you know, as long as they keep me here, our future at UCF will always be bright.
Thank you.
Thank you.